Welcome back. This is Titan Series Day 3, and it is me, your host, once more, Squishy. And obviously, like last time, BTD Team 82 game, I'm with analyst Noctish. So, how are you feeling about this game? Because last map on Bank, flawless win from BTD 7-0. I mean, hopefully we can get a more interesting game this one.
Yep, finger crossed. I'm waiting to see an OT. Really want to experience it here, and I'm all excited again. We have a Turkish team right now by us, and then it's Jihu on the other hand.
Yep, and just on that Turkish Cowboys, if you're a part of the Turkish community and want to support them, please feel free and obviously go to twitch.tv/FMAbby stream, all lowercase that is. You'll find the links somewhere to support them, as obviously he's betting a lot on them to win in the predictions. But obviously, talk about these both teams, Turkish Cowboys versus Jihu. I mean, they're both in Group C, and just like last map where they had eyes from TT9, now we have eyes from Team Heroic, and obviously Team Heroic being the favourite to win the entire series and getting that final prize. So again, lot to prove, just like we saw on Bank. And I mean, Noctish, what are your overall running thoughts on heading into Villa? Quite an interesting map.
So, just to wrap it up quickly, this is the first time Villa going to play in Titan Series. It has been banned 5 times previously, and it's one of the maps that actually our Turkish team has been banning it 25 times before. So I want to see what will happen.
Yeah, but I mean, just on Villa, I mean, it's definitely a map very, very kind of similar with Bank as we saw previously. I mean, there's lots of roam potential, and I won't be surprised if I see Dockerby going off the board as well as Jackal, like we did see on Bank. Because I mean, this is the kind of map where there's going to be big players pushing through. And speaking of these big players, on Turkish Cowboys, Bodov will be running their team as the IGL, hopefully making some good and important decisions, as Villa gonna need a good execute to win these rounds. On Jihu, on the other hand, that'll be MC, if I am pronouncing that right. Might have to check Uncook's pronunciation guidebooks. But obviously, on that one, not just thank you for having me. I'll speak to you after games. We do more round by round. But casters, Uncooked Pasta and Velocity, how are we feeling? Uncooked.
I'm very, very excited for this one, as we are hopefully going to be getting into the game very, very quickly. Like you mentioned, Villa, it's going to be a very, very, hopefully a closer game. I said that first game was possibly going to see overtime, and I was incredibly wrong, Velocity.
Yeah, we were hoping for a bit of overtime on Bank. We don't get to see Bank just as much, but no, a 7-0 comes out. But as very well said from Noctish, we haven't seen Villa play just yet in Titan Series, so we're seeing it now, which is very exciting, very nice, and well, I'm excited to see Villa. I don't know about yourself, Uncooked.
Yeah, so am I. Thank you very much, Squishy. We'll check back in with you and Noctish after the game, because for now, we are heading into Villa. Velocity, a lot riding on this one. Group C looks very, very spicy already. We saw on that very first day, Heroic versus Make Your Destiny. A 7-3 possibly should have been closer to Heroic, and this group, once again, very, very spicy, could potentially end up being very, very close. Turkish Cowboys are a very strong team. Jihu are a very strong team. Squishy thinks they could even win the tournament. And not to mention, Heroic, also a very, very strong team. We saw them come out the gates absolutely raring on Monday. This group heating up. This game is just going to be another foray into that.
Most definitely. Well, moving on to the bans, then we go. Knock and Flores coming out, and the third one being a Solus. Quite reasonable bans, I'd say, Uncooked. I mean,
yeah,
we bring the Knock because she is just this Knock. You ban her on this type of map. So, Flores, because of how you have to play the shields on this map. Solus to deny any of the drones, and then Valkyrie because obviously of her cameras, and well, it's Valkyrie.
Yeah.
But we also have to remember, Uncooked, that Turkish Cowboys are the former Istanbul Wildcats who have a couple trophies under their belt. So, I mean, personally, for me, going into this matchup, I'm not going to speak for yourself on your predictions. I think Turkish Cowboys have to take this.
Yeah, the thing is as well, though, we do see on the other side of Jihu, you have players that have been in UKIM, you know, looking at Venom's MC Shed, Leighton was on Team 86 when they had a bit of a run through UKIM. Maybe they even went into Challenger League. Rando Sando as well has sort of been in the background, obviously not present in this game, but another player that has had a lot of experience. So against this team that doesn't necessarily have their own national league to play in, we could be seeing yet again a very, very even matchup here. It's all going to come down to the gunfights like we saw yet again.
Most definitely. I think, again, gunfights, as we saw in the last map, wasn't the strongest point. However, I think both teams here are, you know, very, very capable and very good with the gun skill. You know, both teams, as you said, have had their fair share of runs in National League and some in Challenger Leagues, and you know, some having some trophies under their belts and whatever. So gun skill is definitely not going to be a problem there. I think the big thing is just who's going to run the better strats, and I think that's what I'm really excited for. Villa can be played in such unique ways, and you know, strategies are still, you know, new strategies are still being found today. They're still being, you know, used, and they're still being created. And you know, I am really excited to see what both these very good and very talented teams are to bring to the table.
Yeah, so about that, what do you think of... I'm seeing the Mozzie here, which I'm not necessarily expecting to come through on this sort of AVG bomb site. What do you think about that one?
Well, they clearly... obviously, Badolf picking up the Mozzie. We... personally, from me, I don't know myself, Badolf has got very, very gun skill. So having a gun like the PP, right, the P10 is you know, very good in the hands of him. But also, I think it's going to be just get rid of any drones possible, because they don't have that Solus on the board that, you know, he can't pick it up, he can't get rid of any drones. So bringing that Mozzie is going to allow Turkish Cowboys to limit that information from Jihu.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got the observation blockers on the Jaeger of Guttero as well, just to, again, deny that information that will be coming across. So, with this round coming through, Shed, very nearly finds Donati, indeed does. C4 comes out, Creed's not able to find a shot on it, but it only does about 20 points of health to him, still above 100 HP, but just forced back a little bit. Diffuser rotating over the roof, Venom's being the Hibana with the case in hand, and we're seeing... inside of this round, very quick aggression by Jihu, but they have stalled out a little bit here. They are just sort of taking this step back, making sure they have that information that is being so hard denied from them by Turkish Cowboys.
Yeah, time is not the friend of Jihu, but what a shot!
Wow, Creed's taking out Guttero there. The flashbangs come through. Quaterna just has to try and get on that phone. Can't activate the goggles, and it's a 2 versus 5 now. Badolf going down as well. Flawless round to start things off. Jihu looking like they want to cook up a storm here on Villa, and what a way to do it. Creed's had a very big round, and Turkish Cowboys could not do anything against that.
Jihu out to prove me wrong here, Uncooked. I said Turkish Cowboys are possibly in content to win this match, and, well, they just come in and completely shut me up. But as you said, they did stall out a little bit. Time wasn't really their friend, so they just kind of stalled out. And, well, then they had to rush that side. They had to play slightly more quicker, slightly more aggressive, and, well, we've just seen what they're capable of playing aggressively.
Yeah, for sure.
Nonetheless, though, we are looking... we're going to see a Alibi being played for once. We don't see Alibi played... Oh, I don't know about yourself, but especially on a site like this, I personally don't see Alibi being played too much. He's not the favourite of picks on this site. So I think, you know, it's going to be more of an aggressive hold from Turkish Cowboys.
What about the recent changes as well? Obviously, she's lost her deployable shield.
10 seconds remaining.
There's less utility being brought along there.
5 seconds to go.
Yeah, I mean... I was thinking about that, and obviously a lot of the operators have lost deployable shields and lost quite crucial utilities, so I'm kind of unsure why they did ban the Flores, because, you know, why did you ban the Flores? Because, I mean, there's no point in banning him at this early stage in the game, because there's not really much crucial util at the moment on many operators.
Well, I mean, it depends, you know, obviously we're seeing operators like Tashanka, like Warden with those shields. Maybe Jihu have a bit of a penchant for those. They want to be able to bring them across, and they don't want the Flyers to get in the way of that. Also, it's just kind of a comfort ban, isn't it? A lot of teams very comfortable
Yeah.
with just removing that opportunity. You know, deployable cameras can get taken out pretty easily. ADSs, mute jammers even, and those Azami barricades from Bodolf as well could also be taken out. There's a lot of utility, even despite the lack of deployable shields, that Flores can deal with.
Yeah, I mean, I've really completely forgot about the Zone barriers. It looks like also they are. One player was, I think it was the Nomad. Don't hold me to that. Was on the steady balcony, so I mean, could
Yeah.
maybe go for a steady take. I mean, he found one out of nowhere. I'm not sure where he found that one from. I won't lie.
I think he's just being a nuisance downstairs, and we can see Donati as well aggressing their way up. Creeds is chasing this alibi up through the downstairs. Shed has a bit of a cutoff as well. They're going to be able to get this pincer from this, and Creeds has spotted them. It's position not quite there, but Gotaro swings and finds one anyway. Cortana as well, taking out Venoms. Creeds did find the alibi eventually, finds Cortana as well, but it's still a 3 versus 2 for Turkish Cowboys now. 75 seconds left on the clock, and suddenly this round is looking a lot safer for TCB, as it's just Leighton and Creeds. Creeds 5 kills, 0 deaths already inside of this game. Leighton still yet to really be in any engagement whatsoever, save for about 5, maybe 7 points of damage taken off in the early portion of this round. 55 seconds now, the timer continuing to tick down. Turkish Cowboys looking continually safer when it comes to this timer. And Jihu, once again, maybe possibly falling victim to that sort of stalling game that we saw in round 1.
Most definitely. And well, Turkish Cowboys looking, they do realize they have the man advantage and have evaluated their options and are now starting to sit back and play slightly more passive. And well, this is proven because we do have 25 seconds left on the clock and there's no damage, no real shots even being taken at all by either or any of the players. I mean, Shox finds himself taken down, so he shots me up quite quickly. But Dolph finds one more and it's all happening. I've taken the spotlight, but Dolph closes out the round.
Lovely, lovely two-piece in the final moments there. And another thing to point out, there was no diffuser in hand for Jihu. Very, very important utility coming into that final 10 seconds. It was stranded, I'm not entirely sure where, but important utility not quite there. The win condition for the attack not there, and Turkish Cowboys capitalize greatly. And you've got to give credit to Gutaro, I feel like, taking that swing onto the Astro window, getting that second pick before being traded by Creeds. It was fantastic.
It was a high-risk, high-reward play, and well, he did exactly that. He brought a high risk, brought
the high reward.
Performed the high risk and brought the high reward. But Fenrir being played, I haven't seen him. Personally, haven't casted him. Sorry, being played at all yet in competitive play. But we did see him being played once as Cham and Jess were casted yesterday. If you watched that stream, you would have known that Fenrir wasn't playing. Well, it is going to be an interesting one uncooked. I mean, we've seen already what this operator is capable of and what he can bring to the table in the competitive scene. The question is it going to be useful?
Well, we saw in the TC9 White Tigers game yesterday, and hey, we can talk. We our little caster ranky stack. We encountered Fenrir quite a few times, and it completely he completely destroyed us. So, you know, I personally think he can be pretty useful here. Cortana obviously just going to be activating one of those at the moment away from the rest of the team, because obviously it does affect defenders as well as attackers. That new gadget, it sort of acts as a bit of a blind. It sort of limits your field of vision whenever you're close to an activated one, but obviously when it's activated, it can just be shot out. So, new utility, very exciting coming with the new season. But for the take itself, we're seeing very quick entry towards the bomb site itself. The Ace of Venoms opening up that pantry wall incredibly quickly.
Yeah, Fenrir is playing very aggressive, considering I don't think he's activated any of his gadgets yet. Well, he's up in bathroom, drone shot, and well, now it's already stalling out.
Oh, Gutter again.
You know what? I think I should stop talking. Gutter finds Creed off the board.
Yeah, he just jumped out of Wolf window there. Does get taken down by Shed. That's the retry. That's a trade. That's the refrag even. But again, Gutaro just confidence off the charts. You know, we saw in round number 2 taking that swing onto the Astro window. This round just jumping out, taking out Creeds. It's brilliant to see how confident they are with their swings. You know, just because they might be stunned a little bit from that round 1 flawless, they're absolutely not letting it be taken away from them as MC. And the Melusi of Donati are going to be coming to blows a little bit. You do see the defender Donati just quickly dipping away from there. Quaterna Regree aggressing up these stairs as well. 1 minute left on the clock, and well, we are seeing now these ephemeral gadgets start to be activated, start to actually come to fruition. Shox, although taken down, did manage to use one of his toxic babes, but Venom's gotten in for the diffuser plant. Does get off, is a little bit wary of what the defense could be doing. Leighton as well, taking out Bodolf. The kills come flooding through. It's just Quaterna now 1v4, and he can't even get the first. That's Jihu, 2 rounds to 1 now. As Villa now suddenly looking very, very likely to go their way. They're already 2 rounds on the board, and that's the total you'd really expect from an attacking side here, Velocity. This game, again, might not necessarily be as close as we first expected, and, well, they're going to take the timeout as a result. They don't want this trend to continue.
Well, great scoreboard we are looking at right now, and, I mean, I have to comment that the Fenrir really didn't do much.
No.
And I'm quite surprised. I thought he would have been quite a useful operator to bring in. Well, he didn't really do much, and now he's yeah, it was strange. He died quite early on. I don't think he activated any of his gadgets, maybe other than one, and well, it just kind of hindered the team, really, having an operator that wasn't being used, wasn't really useful in any way, shape, or form. And I mean, are they going to try it again is the question.
Yeah, that really is the question in the that's going to be on our minds. Obviously, AVG, we saw it in round 1. It was flawless. Like we've been saying, it's.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Hopefully they can do better, because otherwise that's just sucks for them, for the viewers, just everyone. You know, you want to be seeing these close, exciting rounds. We don't want another flawless.
Well, we've seen Mozzie being brought once more, and I mean, we commented on the first round. Maybe it's an adaptation to this Solus ban that's on the board. You know, get rid of as many drones as possible. And I mean, he did do quite well on the Mozzie last time. He was used to quite great effect. I mean, he did deny as much information from the opposing team as possible, and did use some of it against them themselves. So it's interesting that they brought him once again. Well, not really interesting. It's expected he'd bring them once more, and well, we are also seeing the observation blockers being used as well on the Jaeger.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
Yeah, similar sort of utility from the first time, and we saw, I think he was placed to completely block off that top main position from Study. Like, that entire door is fully covered by the observation blocker, which is very, very fun to see. Look at this. Bodolf is just going to be taking down one of those Bravo drones off Shed. They're going to be aware of that at the very least. Now they at least know as well that the Bravo is in play. I think it did at least hack one. I think it was maybe the default cam over on that side. I'm not entirely sure, but that's still good information for the attackers that they've been able to spot out. Observation blockers being taken away as well. And this is gearing up to look like, again, maybe a quicker push than we saw in the first time, which is something that Jihu sorely need. As there's 2 players down.
What's happening here?
They're just going off on a jolly. I don't know.
They're off on a quick adventure. Well, as you were saying, quite a quick push. We also see Jihu quite spread out. I mean, Macy is already in the building on the Iana, but isn't aware. Well, the mirror isn't aware, but surely is aware now. But no, he finds one. What a shot!
A bomb has been located.
The proximity alarm does not give Donati enough warning there. That's a C4 now gone, and that's another C4 wasted from below. Gataro does take down Layson. That's your Nomad off the board, as Study still thoroughly in the hands of Turkish Cowboys, at least for now. We do see the rotations. They will probably go and be repelling up. Bodolf might go for the run out here, though. And he is indeed going to go for it. The player's on repel, and he's going to get the kill. Bodolf taking out Shed, gets back inside. Creets can't collect on it, and now it's a much better position for Turkish Cowboys. However, they do know it will be a 3-on-3 on site for at least the next moment before Bodolf can get their way upstairs. But he's got into collateral on 90. It's a massacre as the firing squad fully in force as Bodolf. What a round. That's how you win on AVG. 4 kills for the Mozzie.
Oh.
That's ridiculous. That's just insane.
Let's in this quick 10 seconds break this down then. He's ran out, first of all. How has he been allowed to do that?
Yeah,
Where were the cameras? And he hasn't even been punished for it at all. Where are the cameras? Where was the person ready for the refrag? No, nowhere to be seen. He runs out and he kills, I think it was the Brava. Then runs back in and proceeds to get another 3K. Well, no, proceeds to get a 3K with a collateral involved. I mean, what is that, Bodolf? Surely you can't be doing this.
I'm
stunned.
lost for words. I am lost for words.
Same. Oh my days.
Well, it's
I need
tied
a drink after
2-2.
this.
It's tied 2-2. So that's at least something. Turkish Cowboys now still in with a shout. However, with the tertiary site still awaiting them, they are still looking at the best case scenario really being a 3-3, which is workable for an attack. They definitely don't want to lose this one, because a 4-2 for the attacker Jihu would probably be an insurmountable mountain, unless this just happens to be a Villa that favours the attack inside. However, the way that we've seen things going at the moment, I would hazard a guess that this is going to be that very standard sort of, 4-2 defensive half would be required. So with this 3-3, it's starting to look like Jihu might even take it 7-5, just from these first 4 rounds, if you sort of think of standard rotations.
Yeah, sorry, I cut you off there, but I want to point out that Denity has, has decided to switch off of the observation blockers on the Jaeger and bring in the global camera. Do you think that was due to the lack of obviously, I would say lack of intel, but clearly something was going right for Bodolf. But, I mean, I've been watching them not really on cams as much, and they're playing as if they don't have as much intel. They're playing quite scared, quite, laid back and sat on site, and more than what you'd usually expect from a team like Turkish Cowboys. So, I mean, I think it might be just because they are struggling a little bit, along with obviously the 4 beepers.
Yeah, possibly. Every little helps when it comes to sort of information, intel, just anything like that. And it seems like MC might have the read on Janati sneaking through the living room. But they just miss each other. MC's rotated into kitchen already. And this means possibility of the flank still on. However, vertical grenade could catch out Quaterna, or Bodolf doesn't get either of them. And MC's still aware of this potential for the flank that we see of the Jaeger of Donati. And it's just so very tense in this situation.
That vertical grenade was too close for comfort.
The Gemini clone coming through. But they've fully rotated off. Donati could get a chance here as Gutter Road swings, takes down Shed. 60 seconds, Donati's now going in for the push. This Gemini clone is still going, and there's kills all over the bomb site. It's all falling apart. MC's the only one left, and he's downstairs. Takes down Donati, but still 4 left to find. Can't get any more. Guttero, the alibi yet again, coming in clutch here on this bomb site, Bailiff in hand. And I thought Donati was possibly going to get the flank kill there on the Yana, but just didn't even know that they were in the kitchen.
I mean, Guttero is really pulling out all... He's really playing for all the marbles, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
But I really wanted to... I was originally going to compliment Jihu, as they played a lot more fluid in that... on that attack. I felt, last round, despite... they were kind of punished by Bodolf for playing that very one-dimensional, very I'd say predictable, may I say, push. And they played that a lot more fluid, but nonetheless, Turkish Cowboys didn't really care, and well, they did that.
There you go. Got the drone.
Well, we also see Fenrir back in play once more.
Yeah.
Being picked up by Guttero.
And another big thing is this is living library. Just to, I'm sorry for breaking your flow, but this isn't kitchen.
It's absolutely fine. Living library. I was gonna point it out after my Fenrir point. But yeah, living library. We don't get to see it much, so I am very excited. One of my favourite sites on Villa here, because it doesn't get played. So I'm very happy to be seeing it.
Yeah, so do I. I like it just because it's played so little that every team does something new on it, and especially with the addition of Fenrir, the new season, there's so much potential for new stuff.
Most definitely. I mean, Fenrir is, as as you can see, being picked up by Gotaro, and the person that is probably performed the best, maybe, on that side of Turkish Cowboys, obviously other than Badolf. But consistently performs the best is Gotaro, in my opinion, at this stage in the game. 6-3, and well, he's picked up with a pretty powerful gun and a very good operator by all accounts.
Yeah, absolutely. We can see Mozzie as well. This is a very, again, sort of information-based lineup from Turkish Cowboys. We've got the Echo, we have the mute to deny those drones, Mozzie as well, and get information for the defense as well. And we can see just juggling these spear gadgets is the Fenrir of Gotaro, just to try and get as much intel as possible. Vertical pressure coming through as well. Donati just trying to open up some sort of lines of sight. Quaterna's inside of 90 as well. But half the round's already gone here without too much pressure. Obviously, there is just this little bit now. Quaterna rips a C4. I don't know if he throws it, and indeed it seems he does, but hasn't connected. That's for sure. It's just standing still. Later nearly finds one, but
this is dangerous. This is going to be a trade and a half if this happens. But no, they are going to move off, and they are going to start to. Jihu are struggling here, I think. This side of Turkish Cowboys are playing very, very aggressive on this top floor. Considering this is Living Library as well, Shox has swung and he's found one. Or down one.
He doesn't get the confirmation though. The swing from Venoms comes just in time. Possibly a bit too greedy there. Obviously, Shed's now been picked back up. Can use those Talon 8 shields yet again to now aggress and push into the bomb site. Donati's still got a bit of an overwatch up here, but he's looking for the wrong side. Leighton now swings out himself. 45 seconds. And Venom's taking out the swing from Gotaro as well. Perfect reads, MC as well, and it's all falling apart for Turkish Cowboys. It's looked like a very strong position, but now that diffuser's going to get planted, if not for Bodolf. With the ace is going to be taken out with the Echo even, is going to be taken down the plant at least for one bit, but now it's secured 1v5. The IGL has got it all to do in this situation. This should be an equal half, save for some incredible heroics from Bodolf, who does manage to find the first. That's Creed's, but still, yet again, just an immense task. A mammoth ahead of him. There's still 4 players left standing. The flashbangs come through as well. He's going to get pushed off, and only 10 seconds, really, to try and find these final 4 kills. It's not going to be done. And this is the round.
Yeah.
Another nice shot. It's another nice shot. He's getting killed. He's getting some things for the show reel at least. But now the time is gone, and Shed shuts it down. Hey, there was some nice shots.
There were some very nice shots. I was secretly hoping he finds this Osa as well, but nope.
Yeah.
That doesn't quite. But wow, what a try. I mean, as you said, all down to the IGL. But I mean, Jihu really wanted to play that really carefully. Wanted to get that 3-3 split. I mean, they did just so. However, Badolf was just on top of it, and I mean, 2 very nice shots and nearly a third to be claimed by him as well. So it is. Oh, that was maybe a bit. Obviously, you couldn't get the defuse off, but maybe a bit too close for Jihu. I wouldn't be comfortable or happy with that.
No, but again, at the same time, it is like it doesn't necessarily matter because they got the diffuser down. They've got that win condition. It's basically over. But again, it's very, very risky. You know, something goes a bit different. Imagine if they're in a 1v4 instead of a 1v5 there. It could be an entirely different story. We might be seeing that 4-2 split after all, but 3-3, like we brought up in the first half. Jihu, might they just take this 7-5 because of that 3-3 half in the start of things?
It is very, very possible, but nonetheless, we are going to see CatCam in play. This is obviously going to be in an attempt to deny any Turkish Cowboys into basically any map control. Because, well, looking at this operator lineup already, this is I don't know about yourself, but this is an aggressive. This is such an aggressive operator roster.
Yeah, well, you got the Ash. You have Ash and Yana and Lion. That screams to me that they want to be going
really on top of the sledge. Oh, but hold on. Creed has got a C4 kill, taking out Shox, the only hard breacher on the side of Turkish Cowboys. That is a crucial kill.
Was that pre-placed on like the barricade? I'm not entirely sure. I want to. I would want to go back and
Yeah.
check that after the round is done, because if so, that's just an insane read. And even if it is just tossed again, perfectly played. Here's the opening of the barricade and takes him straight out.
I don't want to think that was pre-placed, but I don't know. But Gottero finds himself taken down. I mean, we didn't see the shot, but I could already tell you. I heard a little brr, and then Gottero finds himself killed to a very, very nice shot coming out from the Frost of Norms.
Yeah, Venom's getting that kill across the board there. As you can see, 3 versus 5, the round continuing to tick away, about half of it fallen through the hourglass already. Cortana's now aggressing towards 90, instead opting to go below, and Turkish Cowboys, they're all very, very separated. Donati's over in Art Studio, you've got Bodolf over inside of Library, or even Living Room even, and Cortana's still outside the map on that western side. But they are still down on this bottom floor, all regrouping, or looking like they want to just push this main stairs incredibly aggressively. And they still have a lot of nades as well. What a shot from Donati, who finds 2! Creed did get 1, but traded out, and there's a frost mat that's going to be taking him down. The nade from above is going to be dealing with Leighton, but impact grenade in pocket. The swing as well is going to be trying to find it. 9x19, not quite able to find these shots, just teasing the sledge there. And the Teagle now coming through. It's going to be the kill in the end. Jihu with a successful defense of AVG, and you can see.
I love the mind games there. Uncooked.
It's great. It
was amazing. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Just
Was this some Konami code type?
I thought we were doing a GTA money glitch for a second, going all the way back in time. Just wow. But very well played from Jihu. I mean, they did successfully hold off the attack of Turkish Cowboys, which is with I'd say they did pretty well. They dropped a couple bodies, but not too much.
Yeah, it was mainly just due to finally Donati getting the first kills in the game across the board as well. So hopefully, you know, building on that can find more success, more cohesion within the team, and get a round across, and maybe even make it 4-4 inside of this one. That would probably be where they want to go. Obviously 5-3 is a very, very different scenario from 4-4, and that's exactly what Turkish Cowboys are going to be worried about. This round 8 is crucial, not necessarily a must win, but it kind of is, considering again, if that standard rotation comes through, it's going to be a win for Jihu. They need to try and get something where they aren't expected to find it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at both these operator rosters, and there's nothing really out of the ordinary, which leads me to believe, Uncooked, it's just going to be quite an even round, because both these lineups are not mostly seen in competitive play nearly all the time. Nearly everyone knows. Oh my god, Creed, but Gottero instant refrag onto Macy. Is that his name? MC. Sorry, MC. Just, I mean, I was talking about them being quite equal and it's going to be a close one, and well, 2 quick kills put it to a 4v4 near one instantly with only 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. Yeah,
only 45 seconds gone. We've already seen 2 kills inside of the round. Leighton's still downstairs. Creed was floating around 90. But now Shoxall's pushing in with the support of Gottero on the other side, converging onto this sort of top red position. As Gottero's just taking face checks through the bomb site. Still some drones left out on the board. Potential opportunity to maybe use those instead of going for these swings yourself, but it's still providing the information. Venoms is very nearly caught out there by the G36C of Gottero as well, who was just sitting inside of Astro, dodging those bullets. And Leighton, look at this position down red. Shoxall's going to need to be really aware of this, because otherwise this could be a devastating flank. All of these angles being held by the defense, and what are Turkish Cowboys going to do with it? Diffuser changing hands, swapping over as they look to now head towards that eastern side, towards the master bedroom. Gottero, the only real presence here on the southern side of the map for Turkish Cowboys.
Gotro is really stuck in Wolf here. I mean, he's got the player on the rotate. This is the Frost, the Frost of Venoms. And I'm pretty sure he's got one more on his right, in statue, looking in towards him. But Turner takes out Creed with a grenade, but instantly refragged from Leighton. And one more. Venoms takes down one, but no. Turner with the grenade.
And
Takes
Shed
him down. Oh, sorry.
Shed finds it. Sorry, we had production nattering, so
Yeah, well, that was an amazing round from both sides, and I said it was going to get close, but I mean, I didn't think it to be that close.
yeah. I mean, you had you had the trade of their
Defenders, protect
you
the
have
bombs
the
from
trade
being
of
defused
their
by
own
attackers.
with their own grenade as well in the mix there. Venom's been taken down posthumously by, I think it was
Attackers have
Quaterna.
located a bomb.
Yeah.
Just yeah,
Just
wild.
I mean, we're looking at it again. There's no one out of place in this lineup. Once again, so again leads me to believe: are we going to see another really close round? And what is this? What is this, Frostmat? Surely that has to kill someone, right?
That's cheeky. That's
That
incredibly
is very cheeky.
Yeah.
That is very cheeky. Surely that finds someone, right? Or is it so well known that Turkish Cowboys are going to expect it? But
well. But this is going to be the awareness and the wariness as well from Turkish Cowboys now going to be in full effect. They're certainly worried, you can tell, just pre-firing every single window on this side of the map.
yeah, they are. Turkish Cowboys are slightly paranoid now after that spawn peak. It's not the not something you want to be faced with. There we go. Again. Not something you want to be faced with, especially with a 5-3 scoreline, one round off match point. So I mean, you now have to play just a little bit more safe. Creed's really over-aggressing on this master side, and well, I mean, is it going to pay off?
Well, it very much might do. Let's not forget he's on about 55 HP anyway, so it's just going to be a little bit wary. We can see the sledge of Guttero rotating round, trying to find it. Creed's now down to 30. So he's getting pressured from both sides. And he's just dipped out of there. It's now sitting in statue. A little bit further away, Guttero prepping a grenade, but he's not on bricks. He's further back, so that one's not going to find anything. Another grenade will shortly be coming through, it looks like. There's just no information really being fed across. Quaterna now does bring along that Gemini replicator, takes it through, but yet again, it is maybe even a lack of intel. We've seen 6 drones already taken off the board. As now finally this top floor clear comes through. It's that information that we were talking about in that first game, yet again coming through.
Most definitely. And Creed, you stop talking, I come in, and then Creed finds himself taken down by Shocked. And I think this is Creed's already put himself in a huge disadvantage on from that spawn peak because he was so low HP, and they had to play it like a 4 versus 5. And well, at least I think it was Guttero who took the lump of damage from Creed. He's now he's still on decent health and can kind of play as he is normally. He can really put Turkish Cowboys. No, Jihu, sorry, at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, but look at this time, only 30 seconds. Vertical kind of only just starting to be opened up. Bodolf's now picked up the diffuser, 9M5, the IGL on the Thatcher, now dropped it again. Just juggling that, rotating it around. Shockthorpe now in possession, but 20 seconds now on the clock. They're finally starting to get a look in towards the site. 4v5 though, but with the 6th man of the clock, Jihu are essentially sitting pretty here. But now Guttero finds another, taking down Leighton. The timer's ticking so low, and the Capcan in the corner might just find it. Actually, it's the castle of it's all going off, and Venoms finds a lovely shot into Guttero. I kind of lost myself in the middle there, just lost in the source. but it's now down to Shoxel. Holding this angle, takes down one. MC's on 1 HP, and he's finding some shots, peppering them through the soft wall. Diffuser planted in such a good position for the ace to cover. MC's getting on, teasing, getting off, and he's sticking this.
He's sticking it.
Shoxel
He
needs to
doesn't know.
push, now gets off, thinks he's above, doesn't check Laundry, now just pre-fires. Shoxel is going to jump through, that's possibly a sound cue. MC's still sticking, but Shoxel finds it far too close in a 1 versus 2. But thankfully, for Turkish Cowboys' sake, they get something on the board here. They win that tertiary. However, just one more round for Jihu, and they've already secured themselves a point in this group. Remember, it's only single round robin, and with these top tier teams coming in, it's every point is needed. Every point is necessary. If this goes to overtime, both of these teams have kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit. They want to get these 3 points because, again, Heroic are in this group, and they are not really going to go easy on anybody. Turkish Cowboys as well, one of these invited teams. You know, I knew this group was going to be close, but it is looking far closer than I could have imagined.
Oh, most definitely. I think, you know, I said it, you know, I thought it was going to be close due, you know, to look at the operator lineups, and it was going to be close. However, now looking at it, right, we're seeing Ephemera being played on the side of Jihu, and we've seen what Jihu can do when there's limited information from the side of Turkish Cowboys. They sort of utilize that. But what are we now going to see when the information is in the hands of Jihu, sorry.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
It's... I honestly do not know. That's like,
well,
that's a big question.
It is most definitely going to be interesting, and let's hope.
I'm liking this attacking composition.
Yeah, I am. It looks quite aggressive, but I mean, we did see Turkish Cowboys with that on the first round. They didn't play too aggressively. However, they did stall out ever so slightly. So potentially looking to maybe play a little bit faster this time. They're already getting everything opened up, ready for them to go in, and they aren't gonna. They necessarily may not stall as much as we previously have seen them before, as time really has been their biggest enemy.
Yeah, for sure. We even saw in that previous round it got to like 10 seconds left, if not less, before they started planting. They just left it far too close. And this one again, first minute, nothing's really happened. They're gearing up for what seems like a rush here. But, you know, maybe there's drones coming through, but it looks like it's just kind of sitting still, just waiting for something to happen. Guttero slowly making their way through the downstairs up towards that main staircase, but again, it's just so very static from TCB.
It is very, very static.
MC! What a double kill from the Wamai, finds a triple! Cortana going down, it's a quad! Finds himself downed, but it's just a Natty left. 1v5, it's all fallen apart flawlessly. Taken by Jihu, and MC, such a massive part of that.
MC, what are you doing? You can't be doing that. A 4 from MC. Like that. How? A 4K from Mozzie, which was Badolf, I believe, and now a 4K from MC.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, oh wow. I mean, as we were saying before, they are looking, Turkish Cowboys, I think it was, yeah, Turkish Cowboys were looking very, very static, and, well, were playing quite slowly, as we've seen them do before with you know, these sort of sites, and with the aviator site, sorry. And, well, now, Jihu kind of punished Turkish Cowboys for playing very, very static, and,
yeah,
well, they did that.
MC should not get, realistically should not get 2 in that position. The third absolutely should have killed him. Getting 4? Absolutely ludicrous. That's wild. That's absolutely wild.
Yeah, geez, bro. That screams to me a lack of, information. No no drones were on him, and well, it allowed MC to just pull off an absolute ludicrous 4K.
The thing is, I can't even remember who that first player to fall was, but they were watching. Obviously, you expect someone to be on main stairs. They were watching. They just got absolutely smoked, and then no one else could really find that refrag. It got completely deleted. It was honestly, an insane play by MC. 11 and 5 now, just really showing his worth.
That was an insane 4K. Absolutely insane. But let's not worry too much about that last round there on Cook. We're seeing what could be the final round of today's match unfolded before us, and well, it's still kicking off.
Days. Just wallbangs galore. The first kill was found onto MC, but 3 in response from Jihu. Makes it a 2 versus 4. Leighton's watching for the Lion of Donati. Can't find the kill, can't get the pick across, and it's now 3 versus 2. Guttero's marched onto site, taking out Creed before dipping away again. Venoms in Astro was just too slow to try and find that one. Now Shed and Venoms have to try and stop Donati and Guttero from clutching this round out. It was a 2 versus 4, now 2v2. Thanks to heroics, thanks to some very nice picks even from both of these players. Half the round left to go as well. The attack of Turkish Cowboys have plenty of time here.
Absolutely bags of time, well said. And well, it is a 2 versus 2, but Shed is, well, not in a position to really be swinging or even playing aggressive any way, shape or form. So, I mean, but it is Shed.
It is Shed, and the Mark 14 hits like a truck. Look at Guttero just crawling in, takes him down. Shed, though, with 2, clutches it up in the final moments, and that's GG. 7 rounds to 4 is the score. Jihu with 3 points on the board. Turkish Cowboys defeat in the very initial moments. That was ridiculous.
We've
seen some insane gunmanship from Shed, from NC in those final in these past couple of rounds here to get things across the board. A 1v2 coming out there in the end from the Aruni of Shed.
I have to say, Uncooked. I mean, it might be a hot take, but that was so much better than the first map that we casted
for sure.
this evening. That was, wow.
Yeah.
There were some insane moments. Badolf's 4K, MC's 4K, the team plays, and I mean, it really went down to those one-on-ones, and then it really even went even further and went down to the very, very, very fine details in the end of it.
Yeah, speaking of fine details, we have an advanced crew who will be able to take it through with us, and it will be a wonderful, wonderful desk. Squishy and Noctish, you guys take the reins. Us two, we're done for today.
Thank you very much, Uncut Pasta and Velocity, for what we saw was a much closer game as we saw on Bang. Obviously, me, Squishy, and on my left is Noctish. How are we feeling after what was a bit of a better map, Noctish?
Yeah, I should thank TCB and Jihu for this absolutely entertaining match. I was on my toes the whole time. There was many interesting details in all these rounds. Amazing clutches, 4Ks just through each round. It was so enjoyable.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And obviously, Shed finished that game off of Villa with a lovely 1v2. But as everyone does say, love Villa. But obviously, speaking of Villa, I mean, the general life which we have around Villa, I mean, it kind of just took place. And even with the change of meta, Noctish, Villa is still being played how it's always been played. Solo plays, we saw many 4Ks, lots of wallbangs. Thoughts on that, Noctish?
Villa is one of those unique maps, in my opinion, that it will stay the same for over the years, because the characteristic of the map cannot be changed. There are a lot of soft places, of course, the walls and floors, and there are potential opportunities for the attackers, especially, to play multi-dimensional. It is one of those terms that in my analyst days in T3, T4s, I
Yeah.
used it a lot for the teams. And Velocity, I think, kind of steal that from me, wants to, a joke aside. But yeah, it is one of those maps that
Mm.
playing multidimensional is actually very powerful.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the multi-dimensional, which you mentioned, I mean, Jihu actually did a lovely multi-dimensional push, and according to Noctish, it got the okay. But again, Noctish, thoughts on that? Because okay, it doesn't really seem like it was the best Jihu did.
Yes, let's break down a little bit for our viewers. What do we mean by a multidimensional push? So, when you are a stack of 5 people, each operator with different skills, so you plan an entry of a stack of 2 or 3 players in different places. Into the site. So, for example, in this case, we are talking about Villa. So you start attacking and pushing from one side is master, and then the other side, for example, is knighty, and 1 or 2 player playing the distraction game from the balcony. Just this is just a pure example of
Yeah.
what we mean by a multidimensional push. So this also can happen from top to bottom. So one stack come from the basement, the other comes from the top. But anyway, this kind of push has some advantages. This means that there is a lot of distraction for the defenders. They need to pick one by one. They will get splitted, and hence you can attack the side with your distraction squad and go for a plant. But also, on the other hand, we have problems with it
Mm.
because you're not a full stack of push. People can pick you up being cheeky, and you lose your man advantage early.
Yeah.
In this case, they got the opening kill, that's true, but they lost it because there was no backup. And you can introduce us to the amazing play later.
Yeah, but I mean, just speaking on that fourth round, I mean, we got the Mozzie 4K top main, and I mean, we talked about, ITLs and their poor decision making, but I mean, they also got a gun on them. I mean, he being the IGL 4K top main, bringing the hype with the collateral, obviously Velocity and Uncooked Pasta brought that, and I mean, it just shows that, especially on a map like Villa, just like we saw on Bank, there were rounds where it was up to these solo players, single players, which could just easily take the round if you look at it once more. I mean, Mozzie, good timing, best place to be in that position with the 1.5. What I want to see is it's one of the best defended weapon. I mean, obviously with the 1.5 taking control over this new meta, I actually really do prefer the Peter and Roni. But just upon that, I mean, let's start back to the beginning on round one. We talked about multi-dimensional push and also IGLing, and situational awareness also comes into the IGLing and decision making. And we talk about misread by Turkish Cowboys and the setup in Statue. I mean, on that first round, first game going into Villa, there's a lot on it. Noctish, any more thoughts on that?
Yeah, the term of situational awareness is also another unique word that I use a lot. So, if people remember, it was a 150-ish into the round. Mira come back from top red into the landing towards the side, and that's the time that Mira dies from Wolf by the Kaibe. When we talk about situational awareness, is that you should know uh, how much time has passed and what is the potential of the problems we face
Mm.
into that specific time. So when we pass the 2 minutes mark on the clock, you can expect that people are already established in the most popular crossfire angles. Wolf, 90, and landing, statue landing are the most popular places most teams try to push, try to hold from there. So in that specific time, you need to expect that, yeah, there is someone, especially looking at me, holding angles, so I need to be careful, maybe quick pick, and etc. So that's one thing that is very important to remember.
Yeah, and great. Their situational awareness, multi-dimensional. Obviously, words me and Noctis do love to use, as he said. But I mean, just looking at round six. I mean, we talked about all these different terms. But I mean, Jihu, round 6 on that middle side flight, the tertiary site, as Anka Pata lovely described. I mean, an amazing take from Jihu. I've wrote some notes down, but Noctish, take it away.
So, round 6, for people who maybe have a little bit of loss of memory, it was the side that we went into library. So, uh, this has happened when we want to have the vertical control from the vault by the defenders towards the plant that usually comes from the fireplace in library. So, uh, this was a special moment for me because uh, they were perfectly caught off all the rotations uh, for the defenders to get back to the side or even hold the vertical control, went behind the Osa shield, trying to plant. Although they lost, I believe it was a 3K by Echo, but still they closed the round. So it was very enjoyable to watch it perfectly executed.
And speaking of round 6, that was the last round which we saw. And heading on to round 7, I mean, just on that, Noctis, I know you want to speak about this one, so I won't hold you back. Round 7, the first attacking round from TCB.
So, who doesn't like a pug mat? So, we always cheer when there is a frosting in the game and we wait for the pug mat to catch the legs of attackers. But in this special case, the pug mat itself was not the fun. So, Lion got a 2K, floor banging, amazing game sense, and
Yeah.
then fall into the park mat, but then the Izami came to the play. So Izami, instead of going thriving for the kill, made a barrier in front of herself, then played with his food. That was a sledge. So Sledge was trying to get the lion back up, but it was blocked by Izami and left, right, left. They tried so hard. It was a cat and mouse game, but eventually it went in the favor of the zombie.
Yep, I mean, obviously after round 7, I think it was a bit of a hard take because Jihu on that defensive side already having that advantage, even though it was a 3-3 split. They kind of pushed a bit more forward, a bit more ahead of the wheel. And 2 rounds later, round 9, this is where it kind of stopped, and there was potential for TCP to maybe pull back, even though they did have rough losses. This was when it was a 1v2 post plant for the side of TCB on the ace. And it was a very strong win, but I mean, if only he stuck that diffuser Noctis, he probably could have won, and that was for Jihu sticking the diffuser. But I mean, round 9, it was just an absolute shambolic of a round Noctis.
Round none exactly could be a game changer for them. Unfortunately, it was 1v2. It was, I think, Mace MC very low on health, like 1 HP
Yeah,
as
punch
Castle,
him.
and then it was Kate on full HP who lost completely to the attacker. So that was completely unfortunate. So 1 versus 2 post-plan situation, it always comes to the mind that yeah, defenders have the advantages. There's no way that they're going to throw that. But unfortunately, this is Siege, and you cannot actually predict it exactly. This what happened completely opposite in this round 9, which Kate lost his life completely, and then Castle no more option, couldn't fight back because it's literally 1 HP, and should have stick to the plant anyway, but it was unlucky for them.
I mean, you just saw Laura on your screen. I mean, that were my 4K to just absolutely close out that penultimate round. And I mean, this is what we're talking about when we talk about Villa and we talk about life, or just general life, as I said at the start, coming back onto the desk. Just maps like these, like Coastline Bank, it just really, one player can do the job. And this one player, he was stuck on main stairs. He held it down, held his 1.5 down with his flash hider. And I mean, Jihu, I have them down to win the entire thing. So at least they're pulling through with some nasty 4Ks. But I mean, with that being said, enough for the round by round analysis. We do have an interview at hand from Jihu. Shed, how are you feeling?
Hello. The whole Talent League.
Yes.
Oh, I
have
completely
you,
agree.
I have you down to win. Jihu, as I like to pronounce it. Obviously, Jihu. I mean, I have you down to win it, man. But what are your thoughts after this game? I mean, this was your first game of the season, and with Heroic having eyes on you in Group C, I mean, any pressure going into your next couple of games with them having now Intel?
Nah, no pressure. We did troll a little bit. I think there was one round that stuck out to me where I think we tried to send 3 people down long, and there's a guy just
Oh
sat
my.
bookcases.
Yeah, I mean,
That was a little bit questionable.
questionable indeed.
Yeah, and there was another round where they got a plant off on like kitchen without us even realizing. The audio was a bit messed up, but other than that, I'm glad we came out with the win. We played some good rounds, a little bit of trolling on some others, but no, I don't feel pressure going into the next games. Like,
Honestly,
we're kind of chilling.
real thoughts, because I have you down to win. Heroic, do you think you will beat them in the next game? Because obviously we saw them play on Bank. A map like Villa, we also saw Bank today as well. So they're very kind of similar maps and played out quite similarly. Do you think if you do play Heroic, or when you do, you'll take them to a more like a Bank coastline, or maybe to a more standard like Oregon, where you know you can trust in your teammates and perform?
I have no idea where we're gonna end up. We have a rough idea because like they ban similar maps all the time. You can see that from like the Pro League, EUL, and stuff.
Yeah.
But whether we're gonna win or not, not a clue. Like, I mean, it's a tier 1 team. We're like tier 4. Like, obviously the chances are extremely slim. But we do all we want is just to give them a good game. You know.
Yeah.
We want to at least not get completely rolled about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely put up a fight. But Noctish, any other thoughts you want to add as the analysis today? Obviously, we can't see on the screen, but any thoughts you want to add on the side of Shed?
Hello, Sheds. It was absolute game. Thank you for this enjoyable moment that your team and of course TCB have brought it us. So, yeah, let's get down into some questions. It was round 4 that you guys decided to go for a multi-push. So, the quick question on the round 4 is that so Mozzie, of course, ran out and killed a Nomad. The quick question is that so when you lose, what was the role of Nomad playing exactly on that balcony in round 4?
Well, just having that study pressure kind of baits the site players into being focused on him. I think that's why they wanted to get so aggressive, run out and kill him, just so they don't have to worry about it anymore. And then it just kind of gives the rest of the team an easier take if their attention's kind of split between 2 positions there.
But it didn't go as you planned because of the Mozzie run up. Was there any cam or info on Mozzie?
No, I don't even know where Leighton died from actually. He just said, "Oh, they run out on me." I have no idea how he died. But I think I also got run out on when I rotated to take that pause from main door. Like they played really aggressively, which is smart from them.
So I expect to see in the upcoming matches Nomad putting air jabs on very obvious places to stop the run out. Perfect. Another one was actually the way your team played through the whole game. There were truly synced in my opinion. So drones I think were on point, calls were kind of on point. There was some problems as you mentioned, but I want to know how your team went through the synchronization with each other and finding the perfect balance for each player.
Well, everyone's got like their strengths and weaknesses, so we try to accommodate for that. For example, you've got like MC who just wins every 1v1 fight he ever takes, but he's a bit quieter. So you get like to synchronize him up, you get a drone in front of him, you just send him in, he goes crazy.
Yeah.
And then we got more supportive players, more vocal players, so we just kind of try to put people in good positions for that.
And that's all you need in the team, really, isn't it? You got a good support, you got a guy who doesn't lose a gunfight. I mean, it's kind of all you need, especially on a map like Villa, as we've said. But obviously, Shed, we're not going to keep for too long. Obviously, you want to go do your own thing. But any last thoughts you want to say? Do you want to make some beef, or are you just trying to have a good shout out to whoever you want?
I'm chilling. Shout out to the boys. They all played great today.
The boys.
Apart from obviously the rounds we trolled. So hopefully going forward, a little less trolling, but overall still happy to get the W. I'm not sure who we play next. I think is it Heroic next?
I believe so. If we could, yeah,
Okay.
It is Heroic. But Jihu, Shed, thank you very much for having you on this interview. And I have you down to win it, so please bring the hype. And I
Do our
want you to
best.
win every single round. Do your best. Have a great day, Shed, and see you soon.
Cheers, man. See you later.
Now with him gone, me. So this way, me and Noctish. Hello, Noctish. I know your cameras aren't on, but I've had a great time,
Yeah, a
Noctish,
bit
and I
of
hope
technical
you have too.
issues.
Technical. These days, man, your camera's bugging out. You got video to worry about, but obviously, Noctish, it's been me and you today as your host and analysis. What a tongue twister. Noctish, any final thoughts before we close it out?
Yeah, first shout out to all our viewers sticking on to this last second of the stream. I'm all out to see what is going to happen on day 4. Pretty sure everyone going to put all their strength together and put the best performance ever. Obviously, we have T1 teams here in this league. There are slight opportunities for every team and every players on those teams to maybe be watched in the next couple of seasons. So I'm going to expect very amazing team plays and games from each player.
Yeah, and with that being said, thank you very much, Noctish, as my person on the desk. Make sure you do go follow Ethem Abbey as well. You see him on the Twitter. He was linked in the Turkish Cowboys versus Jihu stream. So make sure you please follow him, supporting the Turkish community. Although he didn't get the W today, hopefully he will the next one. But Jihu, in my heart, see you in the next one. Have a great day and a great time. See ya.
Bye bye.